This is a new adventure. I'm streaming live from Zoom to Facebook Live. I don't know if it's actually working or not. Uh, but today I wanted to talk about pattern interrupts. We are in the fourth week of our lockdown, and everybody's sort of getting used to what we're doing. And what I'd like to talk about today is how to change that pattern that we've started getting into something more useful. I mean, if you think about how the human mind works, we could literally get used to living in a cardboard box. That is not my plan, but we could. And hi, Amy. And so what I thought about is, all right, how do we completely change what we're doing? Generally, I recommend for people who are doing exercise programs or they're doing some type of coaching, every 6 weeks, you should really shake things up and change things so that your unconscious mind doesn't automate what you're doing. So I'm going to go through three different things. And one of them, of course, is going to be the physical. So whatever your workout is, think in terms of, okay, if you've been weight training, switch to Pilates or switch to yoga. If you've been doing yoga, switch to something else that's going to challenge your body and challenge you to get stronger and to get better. The other thing that you could think about in terms of, I'm really right-handed when it comes to doing things like cooking or just like I need to turn a bolt or do something. I'm very right-handed. But when I was a kid, I had this unique opportunity. I broke my right thumb. So I got to spend 6 months in a cast, kind of like this, and then 3 months in a cast, kind of like that, with my right hand. So I had to learn how to do a lot of things left-handed. So to this day, I still brush my teeth left-handed. So one of the things that you might want to consider is try cooking left-handed. Try brushing your hair or buttoning or unbuttoning your shirt, tying your shoes left-handed. Something that, and by left-handed, I mean using your non-dominant hand to do something interesting. The other thing that you might want to consider is, let's say that you've been watching a lot of TV or you've been reading a lot of books. What would be a radical change from what you're doing? I'm kind of watching the True Blood series, but I took a 6 week break earlier this year, and I think I read like 15 books. So think about what it is that you could do in your physical realm that would make things different. Change the order of moving furniture around. You could change the order of your silverware, or you could change the order of your plates and put them in a different cupboard, or maybe you could move your canned goods around. Anything that is going to give you an opportunity to be present and to be conscious. Okay. The second thing that I wanted you to think about is going to be in the terms of what are your mental patterns? What type of mood are you in on a daily basis? Do you start out sleepy and then you build up and then you have trouble like shutting down? What would happen if you got up an hour earlier or an hour later in your day? What would happen if you were lucky enough to have a partner instead of like making love on Thursday night with the lights off or the lights on, however it is that you do it? What would So we're going back live again. That was fun. I guess I'll have to figure out what the problems were with the Zoom and where I'll get Zoom and Facebook and they can talk to one another and they can have lunch. All right. So when we last left off, we were talking about pattern interrupts and the mental aspect of the pattern interrupt in which you you talk to your partner, or you just evaluate your own moods. I mean, are you cranky in the morning, or are you perky in the morning, and you have a tendency to do the same type of moods that you normally do? One of the ways that you can interrupt your pattern is if you don't ask for help. What would happen if you did ask for help? If you asked for help a lot, what would happen if you did stuff on your own, just to see what would happen? And I'm going to keep referring back to these these ongoing patterns that we have. We do them so frequently that we don't even think about it. And so for the mental and emotional aspect, one of the things that I'm going to be asking you to consider is going on a moratorium. I was talking to a group of people on Saturday about something that I do. I really, really like to cook, and I'm good at it. And I'm used to getting, tons of compliments about how yummy my food is and stuff like that. So I decided to go on a 1-week moratorium. So because I'm still preparing food and giving it out to people, because it, gives me something to do besides mow the yard. But the agreement with the people that I'm preparing food for is that they have to find one thing, at least one thing that they are that they would change, or there's something that they don't like. Maybe it's too hot, or maybe it's too cold, or it's not crunchy enough, or it's not like they would do it differently. And if you think about it, I mean, most of the time we don't tell people what we're really thinking. And I'm not, asking you to be like brutal and hurt somebody's feelings and stuff, but what would happen if we did a moratorium on withholding information? Withholding information has a tendency to get people into what is called covert contracts. So if the way this particular contract is set up is, let's say that I make breakfast tacos for you, and you're going, isn't that wonderful? Okay, but you don't really like breakfast tacos, and you just never told me that that you don't want any, but you don't want to hurt my feelings. And it's like, what would happen if we actually started talking to one another like we actually honored them? And we've talked about taking a breath and feeling the words coming through you, and then thinking about your response and stuff like that. I'm talking about how these expectations or these covert contracts can really cause resentment. And if you haven't noticed, we're kind of just like stuck at home. So wouldn't it be nice if this adventure that we call a lockdown that we're going on ended up being the greatest resource that we've ever had, in a way that people remember that, oh yeah, this is when we really started talking to one another. This is when we really started being honest and open about your emotions, or about your personal emotions. I was out walking today and talking to a friend of mine out by the lake, and they were on the phone. And one of the things that I know about this particular person is that she really likes to be of service, and being of service, can be a covert contract in a way where either you don't want to have a whole lot of friends because you have to take care of all of them, or you find yourself, becoming really, really exhausted because, you have to give and give and give and give. So I actually talked to this person she happens to be one of the people that I make breakfast tacos for, and we made this deal. And this deal is that I'm going to bring her some breakfast tacos, but this time and the next time this week, when I bring her breakfast tacos, she is not allowed to give me anything in return. So there's no reciprocation And that might sound strange, you know, because obviously we like reciprocal and symbiotic relationships, but she feels compelled to reciprocate. So just kind of like setting this up in a scenario where she can't reciprocate, because I'm really interested in how she's going to emotionally process this pattern change that is pretty foreign to her. It's short video. I'm gonna have to like stick all these videos together, but I'm gonna rehash. Think about what's happening in your physical environment, your physical workout. If you've been meditating and sitting and being still, what would happen if you chanted? What would happen if you did yoga or tai chi or qigong instead of sitting? Whatever your normal routine is. What would happen if you slept on the other side of the bed versus the side of the bed that you currently sleep on? Mentally, take some time to evaluate your moods. Are you in a rote pattern of, you know, being cranky in the morning or being cranky at night, or you come in and you zone out in front of the TV instead of like taking a moment, going for a walk, or like coloring or doing something. And then emotionally, think about what type of contracts, what type of unspoken rules have you intentionally or unintentionally imposed on somebody else without their knowledge and without their attention. I am going to figure out this Zoom thing, and ultimately I'm gonna start telling you guys, if you want to be on the Zoom call and you want to like ask questions, or if you want to email me questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I hope that your day is going awesome today, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Please share this video with someone that you think could benefit. Talk to you later.